I set up this compact 18-watt stereo system in a small room, and the first thing I noticed was how balanced it sounded. Voices sit clearly in the mix, bass has weight without getting boomy, and the top end stays smooth. Even when I turn it up, it keeps composure and avoids the harshness that usually shows up in budget desktop systems.
What surprised me most was how practical it is for day-to-day listening. The footprint is small enough to fit almost anywhere, but it still throws enough sound for a bedroom or office. I can move from quiet background playback to focused sessions without touching multiple menus, and setup took only a few minutes once everything was out of the box.
I spent time with a mix of older and newer albums, and the tuning feels intentionally even. Vocal lines remain present, cymbals do not splash too hard, and kick drum stays controlled. It handles softer acoustic tracks and denser arrangements with the same character, which makes long listening sessions easier because I am not constantly adjusting tone or volume.
I tested radio reception as well, and it performed better than I expected for a unit this size. Local stations lock in cleanly and hold signal without constant drift. That added flexibility matters because I can switch between discs, radio, and wireless playback depending on mood, all while keeping one compact system that does not dominate the shelf or the room.
For CD playback, this is exactly the kind of straightforward experience I wanted. I load a disc, press play, and get clean output without fighting a complicated interface. The remote is simple enough to operate quickly, and the controls are easy to understand at a glance. That simplicity makes it feel reliable instead of feature-heavy for the sake of it.
I was also impressed by how well the system keeps clarity at higher volume. Many small units flatten out or distort when pushed, but this one stays articulate with good separation between instruments. On tracks with layered guitars, keys, and vocals, I can still follow each part. It gives me enough headroom for energetic listening without sounding strained.
Placement made a difference in the best way. With the speakers set a few feet apart, the stereo image opens up and center content feels stable. I get better depth than I expected from a compact package, especially on live recordings. Once positioned, it creates a coherent listening bubble that works well for both focused sessions and casual daily use.
I rotate through classical, jazz, and rock, and this setup adapts surprisingly well across genres. Strings sound smooth, cymbals keep detail without becoming brittle, and electric guitars still carry bite. Bass lines stay present and rhythmic rather than muddy. That genre flexibility is a big reason I keep returning to it instead of treating it like a niche device.
Build quality feels better than expected at this price tier. The chassis and speakers feel solid, and once connected, everything behaves predictably. I did not need to baby the controls or second-guess the setup. It gives me that reassuring sense that I can just power it on, choose a source, and enjoy music instead of troubleshooting basic functionality.
Wireless playback has been stable in my use. Pairing completes quickly, reconnects are smooth, and I do not run into random cutouts during normal sessions. I still use discs most of the time, but having dependable wireless support is convenient when I want to share something fast from a phone. It rounds out the system without complicating the core experience.